Let's go ahead and jump on to some Cardano technical analysis. And we are going to go through the blank-to-bank style of analyzing this market. Guys, this is what we're going to end up with, but we're going to start with a blank chart. So let's go ahead and do that. Going to trash everything, and let's get going. Very first thing we have to do on Cardano, just like any technical analysis, guys, is we have to figure out where our support levels are and figure out where our resistance levels are. That's part of laying those foundations that we can then build on so that we're able to continue to understand what the market is doing. Remember, guys, that understanding of the market is absolutely critical. If you don't understand the market, you can never hope to trade in it, and that's why technical analysis is so incredibly important, because it is the way that you read this market. It is the way that you develop yourself as a trader. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you why I put these two levels right here. This level right here, this red level, red is for resistance on the way I do my charting. We put this here at our all-time high figure. This is the highest Cardano's ever been, 97.5 cents. I'm also putting a level right here at $1. Why? Because if you go to CT2A, you're going to see that we have a video in here called Mass Psychology. Understanding the mass psychology of the people trading in Bitcoin and crypto is important. People like to put sell orders right below $1, $2, $5, $10, $25, $50, $10,000, $25,000, $50,000. Those even numbers that just sound good. People like to put trades right there. And $1 is a huge psychological barrier that Cardano needs to break through. They're both decentralized application products, but we are, in fact, looking at Cardano. So we have two levels of resistance there. They're so close that we are going to follow our rule of 3%. If you see two flat levels of support, they're within 3% of each other. I like to call that a zone. So we have a zone of resistance right here. The way I did this is on this brush tab over here on TradingView, went down to rectangle, boom, drew a rectangle. Awesome, guys. Give me a 1 in chat if you love rectangles, guys. Oh my gosh, I just love rectangles. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at some more levels of support now that we have our resistance established. Remember, resistance is what we need to break through. Support is what we can find support at. We can find help there. It is our place to go back to if we are in danger. The place that we're going to put a resistance level, a support level, excuse me, is right here at 40 cents. The reason we're going to do that is because this was a previous all-time high at 40 cents. It's a nice even number. 40 sounds a lot better than 37.63, right? You kind of get what I'm saying there. And we also see that it was a resistance level. We broke bullish out of it, started an uptrend, and we tested support on it. Okay, that's some place that we want to put a flat level. Is at 40 cents. We're going to look at our other chart, and I'm going to show you these two uptrends. These two uptrends are a little bit harder to find, but I want to show you where I got them from. What we're going to do is I'm going to draw a trend line from these two highs right here. Whenever you're doing trend analysis and market analysis, any form of technical analysis, look for trends. Look for patterns that are repeating. Look for things that are continuous. What do we see right here? We can draw a trend line in between these levels of support and resistance right around here. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect this high, this high, this high, this support level, and this support level, and we're going to find a line with 5 touches on it, 4 or 5. And then if you back extrapolate this and move it backwards, what you're going to find is that there's actually quite a bit of analysis to do on this in the past as well. We can drag this down here, and we have touches right here and touches right here, support and breakout right there. Definitely a trend line that may come in handy later. Another one that we want to show you, I'm going to show you this bottom trend line right here. We do the exact same thing. We look for a consistent number of bottoms or tops, and we look for how they can all be connected. Notice that if we draw a trend line right here, we're going to connect this low, and these two lows right here. Cool, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend this out, and then as Cardano continues to trade sideways, we're going to find out, as history continues to develop on this chart, whether or not these are going to be support levels. In fact, we saw this one become a support level back on the 14th of February when Cardano pulled back 30% to 68 cents. Those are two levels of support that we may see come into play. We have just drawn our support levels. We have just drawn our resistance levels. Now we need to run through our technicals and see if there's anything jumping straight out at us. The first place I like to start is with our MACD and with our RSI. So let's jump back to the daily chart and let's go ahead and do it. RSI on Cardano is something I have talked about a couple of times here on the channel. We rallied to 91 on Cardano. This is an all-time high figure for Cardano's technical analysis. This is an all-time high figure for the entire history of Cardano on RSI. I want you guys to understand this. I'm going to say it one more time. Cardano just hit an all-time high on RSI. The reason that's important is because, yes, Cardano is going to need a correction after that. It is going to need to correct after, let me show you this, after rallying something like 4,000% since March. We rallied 4,000% in 365 days. We rallied to $1 from like 1 cent, less than a penny. It's going to need to correct. RSI is very high right now. We're still sitting at 76 despite pulling back 14 cents. Let's keep that in our back pocket. It's going to come up again when we do our analysis on this market. Next thing I want to show you is the daily chart MACD, because daily chart MACD is converging on itself rapidly. We are seeing this MACD moving to the downside very quickly. As we've seen the last 6 days, the histogram has started to converge on itself. The histogram is moving down. That means these two lines, the MACD line, the signal line, are getting very close to crossing bearish, and that would indicate the start of a new downtrend. I want to look at the Heikin Ashi really quickly also, because I want to show you the Heikin Ashi is changing colors from red to green. If you don't know what Heikin Ashi is and you're in CT2A, we have a video on it right here, how to use Heikin Ashi candlestick charts. Something that you need to know. It's a very powerful but yet very little talked about technical indicator. And when this turns red, and when we see consecutively with that, we see a MACD cross to the downside, that is going to lead to a strong downtrend, guys. Don't get me wrong. I like Cardano. I think it's a great project. I think it's a project that you could definitely be wise to invest in. Think for yourself. I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I think it's a good project, but it needs to correct. It's a good project, so it rallied very far. But for the good of the project, it needs a correction. Like I said, we're going to get into that more in the analysis portion, but let's look at the volume, because the volume is continuing to move to the downside. This is something we're going to need to keep in mind as we move into the analysis portion of this. TD Sequential says that we were overextended, yes, but we are now 4 deep into the red phase of TD Sequential. That's a good thing, not an issue. 4 moving averages, because we've gone on to such a massive bull market lately, are sitting pretty low. VPVR is showing exactly what I was talking about earlier. We've never traded in this region before. We don't have any support up here, guys. It's similar to the Bitcoin situation. We just need longevity up here to lay a foundation that we can build off of. Cardano has not sat up here for very long, and if it were, then it would change a lot of things. However, because Cardano is new to this space, remember, guys, we're on the log chart. This is what the linear chart looks like. I just want to give you perspective. We are on the logarithm chart. This is the linear chart. Cardano has exploded. It's huge right now. Cardano is like a $26 billion market cap coin. It wasn't long ago that it was less than $1 billion. A lot of market capitalization added very quickly, so that VPVR is an issue. Bollinger Bands. We rallied outside of the Bollinger Bands. We've now reset into them, so that's a good thing. And 20 exponential moving average. We have strong support sitting on these two uptrends, right here, around 60 to 70 odd cents. We also have an uptrending level of support right here, and a level of support at 40 cents. You might notice this is a bit sparse. We do have support here at the 20 daily exponential moving average. But guys, I'm going to be honest with you, the support is pretty weak right now. The reason for that is because Cardano just exploded and rallied so freaking high that it didn't build any support. So there's not very many places that we can say, oh, if Cardano pulls back, it's going to catch support here. I mean, what you could do is you could put a horizontal line right here and say, yeah, 67 cents, boom, that's where we're going to get support if we pull back. Possible, likely, not feeling it, to be quite honest with you. The fact that the resistance is so strong right now at 97 cents to $1 leads me in a very bearish direction on Cardano at the moment. It needs to correct, guys. Look, there's a lot of hype in this market right now, but the hype seems to be dying, and so too seem to be the crazy runs that we were seeing just a couple of weeks ago. Remember also what we said about RSI on Cardano. Unlike on Bitcoin that we talked about a second ago, where RSI has more room to run, RSI on Cardano ran its run. It ran as far as it could. It ran to like 92. It's going to correct, guys. That's just technical analysis in a nutshell. It's the way that works. MACD also is looking like it's about to curve and correct bearish. Heikin Ashi looks like it's about to be consistently red. All of these things are very bearish on Cardano. Again, guys, I want to be very clear with this. I am not bearish on the long-term fundamentals of Cardano. I think it's a great project. The chart, however, is definitely overextended. The reason it's overextended is because it's such a good project. I understand why it went here in the first place, but it needs to correct. I'd be very careful of entering a long trade right now. Will it be profitable? Maybe. We're not talking about certainties in technical analysis. The best we can do is probabilities, because we can't read the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. I pay good money for it. It'd make my job a lot easier, but I don't have that. So we can only work in what we talk about in CT2A is a game of statistics and probabilities in this video right here. What is the statistical analysis? What are the probabilities of this market say? The probabilities say we're probably going to correct. If we look at volume's trending to the downside. If we look at TD Sequential, it's reset. That's great, but there's not much support under us, guys. Cardano is in need of a correction. And to be quite honest with you, when you ask what my price prediction is on Cardano, you might have been thinking, oh, Jeb's going to say it's going to $5. Yeah, probably 2-3 years from now. I'm happy making that price prediction because I'm pretty confident in that. Is Cardano going to go to $5? Probably. Give it 24 to 36 months. Yeah, I'll make that prediction. But the price prediction that you came here for is the one for the next 30 days or so. My price prediction for Cardano is somewhere between 65 and 75 cents. maybe even lower than that. But I'm going to say in the next 30 days, I want to see Cardano pull back to 65 to 75 cents. That is my prediction on Cardano. That is where I think we're going. I'd love to hear your opinions on that in the comments in the side of your chat, on the side of this video. Do you think Cardano is going to pull back? Do you think Cardano is just going to trade sideways for 3 months and that's going to be its form of a correction? Or do you think Cardano just don't care? It's just going to explode. It's going to be worth $1 trillion tomorrow. I want to hear your take. What do you think in the chat?